Going to be talking about AEW Revolution last night. It was such a good pay-per-view. Yeah, it felt like it was 5 hours. Came on at 8, 9, 10. Well, it's 4 hours. Came on at 8 and it went off around like 11:15, 11:20. Man, it was a good show. First off was Hager versus Dustin Rhodes. It was a pretty good match. Dustin Rhodes actually kissed Hager's wife, which was really crazy. And well, I'm gonna just call him Jack Swag, cause that's what his real name is. But I know AEW is Jack Hager. But Swagger put in an ankle lock on Dusty Rhodes, and then he cheated to win. He did the low blow, and then he picked him up with a power bomb. 1, 2, 3. I said, "Are you serious?" No, they be cheating in AEW too. But it was still a good match. It was a really good match. Next match was Nia Rose versus Chris Stanlanter. these names be so funny. It was a good match. It was a good physical match. They kept doing these forearms to the face, and Nia Rose was just showing why she's a dominant AEW Women's Champion. She took all of that, and she didn't give up. Chris Statlander is a phenomenal wrestler because most women that's facing a bigger opponent, it would take a lot for them to get the big opponent down. But she kept kicking on her knee. She fell down. She did some drop kicks. They took it outside the ring a few times. But at the end, Nia Rose had won. She did her big old pop-up power bomb. And yeah, that was it. I'm like, woo. That was a pretty good match. Pretty good match. Now, one of my favorite matches was Pac versus Cassidy Freshly Squeezed Orange. This man is such an entertainer. He had his hands in his pocket the whole match. It was so funny. He was doing something. Wait a minute. Let me try to show y'all. He was doing something like this. He had his hands in his pocket. So the opponent was right here. And he did like this. He kept kicking. He was kicking like on a lower leg. And then he did this, and the crowd was like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, what is that? He just put his hands in his pocket. I say, oh, that is so cool. That is so cool, man. But man, it was a good match though. And I was like, at first he wasn't doing nothing. I mean, Pac was just beating him up bad. But Orange Cassidy, he kept on doing all these crazy moves and stuff, and he wouldn't give up. But Pac hit these high offensive moves, and it was going back and forth for a while, back and forth. But at the end, Pac had won due to a submission. He took out his buddies, his best friends. He did a submission on them, and Pac just, yeah, he just passed out. He passed out. Next match um, was the Young Bucks versus Omega and Hangman. Let me tell y'all something. These Young Bucks gonna be tag team champions one day. Might be soon. Because Omega and Hangman, at first they didn't want to get along. The Young Bucks was getting in their head. But Hangman Adam Page, he just wouldn't give up. Omega's shoulder started hurting. They started targeting his shoulder, and it was a really good match. I mean, they both was tested. Um, Omega put one of the Young Bucks through a table, and I thought that was it, but the Young Bucks just came back. They wouldn't give up at all. They kept coming and coming, and before you know it, they hit some big moves. They had a lot of near fall counts. They had a whole bunch of 3 counts that was 2.5. Like the referee was just about to touch the mat for a 3, and then they kicked out. I said, "Whoa!" It was crazy. But at the end, Hangman and Kenny Omega, or Adam Page and Kenny Omega retained their belts in a really good high pace match, back and forth. Like, it was so much action. I was just sitting there like, golly, I don't know what to call that move. I don't know what to call that move. But next day we had Darby Allin versus Sammy. I can't pronounce his last name. Gorilla. It was a crazy match. As soon as Darby went in the ring, he went outside the ring on a suicide dive, kind of like what Chris Benoit used to do. He did that. He took out Sammy. He ran him in a post with kind of like that what Finn Balor do outside the ring of NXT and WWE. He just kicked his opponent to the fans where they sitting in front row, and Sammy returned the favor, did the same thing. But the craziest thing was when Sammy put Darby in the through the table, and also when Darby did a suicide dive, but he missed and he hit the back of his neck on the floor. Now everybody was thinking like, that's it. It took him a while to recover from that. It really did. So Sammy was targeting his neck, but Darby wouldn't give up. So Darby kept on fighting. He kept on fighting, and they both was going at it. But at the end, Darby won, and then he got his skateboard. got his skateboard. I was like, yo, this man and his skateboard. I'm like, man. But the funny part, he come down the ring with a skateboard. Like, who? Like, that's really cool. I mean, he came down the ring with his skateboard. So I'm like, yo, that is crazy. So the next match was Cody Rhodes versus MJF. This match was really good. It was really physical. I mean, MJF took off Cody Rhodes' foot. I mean, his not foot, his shoe, and he bit his foot. I'm like, what is this? This man bit his foot. Like, they do anything in AEW, boy. It could be a regular match, and it just turned into hardcore. Cody, he busted MJF wide open. He hit his head on the turnbuckle into the floor, and then he was bleeding bad. But, Cody kept on fighting. Cody did his finishing move almost about 4 times. And after the 4th time, MJF countered it and hit him with one of his rings. I think it was the middle finger ring. And that knocked Cody out, and MJF got the victory. And everybody was just shocked. I was shocked too. Because, when Cody do his finishing move 3 times, that's it. But, he kept kicking out. So that was it. Now for the main event. Jon Moxley versus Chris Jericho. Man, the Inner Circle did everything in their power to try to make Jon Moxley lose. And Moxley was bleeding. Now, he was bleeding from his eye, in which we thought it was, but he kept on fighting. Moxley kept on fighting. They went outside the ring. Inner Circle was trying to interfere, trying to get on his nerves. And Jericho even pushed the referee. He was trying to get disqualified. I said, ah, shucks. I said, boy, He trying to get himself disqualified, but he ain't do that though. And John Moxley shocked everybody when he took off his eye patch. The only thing that was bleeding was up here. So in fact, if I was watching AEW a few weeks ago, he got stabbed up here. I thought he got stabbed in his eye, but he actually got stabbed like right up here. So John Moxley took advantage of Jericho being so surprised, and he did his DDT, and he counted 1, 2, 3. I was like, yes, Moxley, he finally won the title, and he's still undefeated in AEW single matches. I was like, yes. I know they're gonna have a good rival, but I'm like, I'm so glad Moxley won. Moxley gave a speech, and then he said after that, I'm gonna drink me some whiskey. And then that was it. This pay-per-view was so good. Man, AEW pay-per-view it was so much action. Every match was so good. This this felt like I was watching WrestleMania. Just every match was so good. But whoo, it was a good pay-per-view. It was really good. So I hope y'all like this pay-per-view. Hope y'all like and subscribe to my page. Definitely gonna do more of AEW and NXT and WWE. So I'm trying to do all three. So like and subscribe. There will definitely be more to come from today. Thanks for watching. Woo! World baby. AEW. Moxley baby. Watch that, bro. Moxley baby.